My
Go.
Hello, my name is Priya. I'm going to read about Little Red Riding Hood. This is my sister Alicia. This is my mom.
Alicia.
Little Red Riding Hood.
I will now start.
Once upon a time there was a kind little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She always wore a bright red cloak with a bright red hood. I love it so much I never take it off.
What is it? What's the color of the cloak?
It's red!
What's the name of the girl?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Alright, next.
Little Red Riding Hood lived with her mother on an edge of some deep dark woods. Of the deep dark woods by Little Red Riding Hood. Mother Red Riding Hood, me, our little cottage, Granny's cottage, Granny Red Riding Hood.
Over here.
One day, Little Red Riding Hood, mother gave her a pot of vegetables soup.
Okay, what is it? What did the mother give to Little Red Riding Hood? It's a vegetable soup. Okay.
Take this to your grandmother, she said. She is not feeling well.
Okay, who's not feeling well?
Grandmother! But remember the rules of the woods, her mother added.
What are the rules of the woods?
Rules of the woods. Keep to the path. Don't talk to wolves.
What's the second rule?
Don't talk to wolves.
What are wolves?
Wolves
are what?
here.
They are. What are they? What can you say about wolves? Are they scary animals? Yes. What else? What do they do to people? Or what do they do to other animals? They eat. Okay. Next.
I will, promised Little Red Riding Hood, and she set off. Tweet, tweet. Ha! There goes my lunch.
Who said that?
That's the At first, the sun shone and the birds sang.
Say it now. Next.
Little Red Riding Hood hummed a little tune.
Just like it.
Ha ha! Bent down to tie her shoelace.
Okay, who bent down to tie her shoelace?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Then what did she do?
Skipped along the path and stopped to smell the flowers. At last.
Next.
Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood called a woodcutter. Rats!
Why is it this wolf said rats?
I don't know.
There is another man there.
Yeah.
Okay, how can he eat Little Red Riding Hood? Little Red Riding Hood if someone is watching over her.
Good morning, said Little Red Riding Hood, waving to him. I know I'll run ahead and wait for her.
According to the wolf.
Little Red Riding Hood walked deeper and deeper into the woods
Not like that. Okay.
and grew dark and darker. Darker and darker. Then the sun hid behind the clouds, and it got darker still. Come on, lunch, where are you?
It's already hungry.
So Little Red Riding Hood didn't see the wolf waiting for her on the path. And the wolf didn't see Little Red Riding Hood either. My tail! Whoops!
What happened? What's
Little Red
happened?
Riding Hood stepped on the wolf's tail.
Yes.
No. Little Red Riding Hood stepped on the wolf's tail.
Just like what you said.
Then on his paw.
Oh no.
My paw! And dropped her basket. Sank.
Smack.
Smack on his head. My head. Look where you're going, said the wolf humbly.
Huffily.
But you're in the middle of the path. The Little Red Riding Hood. She had forgotten the rule. Don't talk to wolves. What have you got in that basket? Asked the wolf.
Hungrily.
Vegetable
Not too
soup,
loud.
replied Little Red Riding Hood. I'm going to take it to my grandmother. Vegetables? Cried the wolf. How revolting! Wolves only eat juicy red meat. I never touch vegetables.
No.
He added, now time for my lunch. The wolf was about to gobble up Little Red Riding Hood, but then he had an idea.
What's the idea of the little red riding? What's the idea of the wolf? What's that?
Is he gonna eat Grandma?
First
Little.
perhaps.
Perhaps I can eat Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, he thought. He put on his softest voice. Where does your grandmother live? He asked. In the cottage on the other side of the woods.
Sad
Little
little
Red Riding Hood. How perfect! Thought the wolf, rubbing his tummy. How delicious! Why you don't take her some flowers? He shrugged.
He suggested.
He suggested. That's a lovely idea. What a kind wolf you are, the Little Red Riding Hood. So Little Red Riding Hood left the path to look for flowers. Wolf raced off to the grandmother's house. He knocked lightly on the door. Tap, tap, tap. I'm so wonderful, wicked, and clever. Wonderfully wicked and
clever, said the wolf.
Said the wolf. Who's there? Asked grandmother. Your granddaughter, Little Red Riding Hood, squeaked the wolf. I brought you some lovely vegetable soup. Let yourself in, said grandmother. I'm too weak to get up. The wolf leaped into the room. He gobbled up Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. Bony, but not so bad. He climbed into the bed for Little Little Red Riding Hood. Soon he heard a knock. He heard a knock at the door. Who's there? He said. Your granddaughter, said Little Red Riding Hood. Let yourself in, cried the wolf. I'm too weak to get up. He pulled on the grandmother's cap and hid under the blankets. I brought you some vegetable soup, said Little Red Riding Hood. Lovely, snarled the wolf. Lovely, he added in a squeak. Lovely. Put your baskets on the stool and come and sit next to me. Little Red Riding Hood looked at her grandmother and looked again. Oh, grandmother, she said, what big ears you have. All the better to hear you with, said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood came close to the bed. Oh, grandmother, she said, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood came closer still. Oh, grandmother, she said, what big hairy hands you have. All the better to hug you with, said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood was now standing right next to the bed. But grandmother, she said. She cried. What big sharp teeth you have! All the better to eat with, snapped the wolf. He jumped out of the bed and gobbled up Little Red Riding Hood. Delicious! Full at last, he said, licking his lips. Then he lay down on the bed to sleep. As the wolf slept, he snored very loudly. He snored so loudly the woodcutter heard him. I never thought the old woman snored that loudly, he thought. I'll just make sure she's over. But the woodcutter didn't see the grandmother couldn't see the grandmother anywhere. Only a very fat wolf. Oh no, thought the woodcutter. The wolf's eaten the old woman. Just the woodcutter had an idea. Just then, the woodcutter had an idea. Perhaps the old woman is still inside you. Still inside you. I might be able to save her. He picked up some scissors. Then he snipped open the wolf's tummy. Snip, snip. He saw a bright red hood. Snip, snip. Little Red Riding Hood's head popped out. Pew! Keep cutting, she cried. Grandmother's still in there. Snippy,
Snippety.
Snippety, snip. Faster and faster the woodcutter kept cutting until Grandmother popped out too. Did I fall asleep? Quick as a flash, Little Red Riding Hood ran outside and picked up lots of stones. The woodcutter put them in the wolf's tummy, and Grandmother sewed up the tummy. Then the wolf woke up. He tried to sneak out of the door, but stones rattled him inside.
Rattled inside
him. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Now everyone can hear you coming, said the woodcutter, laughing.
Huh? How do you read it? Now
everyone can hear you coming, said the woodcutter, laughing.
Woodcutter.
But I'll never catch anyone, cried the wolf. Exactly, said the woodcutter. You just have to eat vegetables, said the Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf never ate another person. I don't like little girls. As for Little Red Riding Hood, she never ever talked to a wolf again.
Okay, so what happened to the wolf here? Let's read, okay. So what happened to the wolf? You put it down. What happened to the wolf? Was he able to eat another soul or another person? No. Why? What happened to his tummy?
Rattle.
Okay, what's inside the tummy of the wolf? What's inside the tummy of the wolf? You answer. What's inside the tummy of the wolf? Stones are inside the tummy of the wolf. Okay, so what's the food of the wolf this time? What's the food of the wolf?
It's vegetables.
Vegetable soup. So it's not eating people anymore. Okay, Alicia. What are you doing, Alicia?
Yes.
Wanna read to Alicia?
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
See you in next video.
In our next video. Yes, Alicia. Are you sleepy? Goodbye.
Bye-bye.